And I actually had a lady, I can't remember her name, but she was a British Bake Off. And she came, she was like, great, simple menu, well done, really good. And I was like, oh, thank you, I'm actually doing the right thing. I can't remember her name, but she's quite famous. And I was like, oh, I felt the pressure as she was ordering from me.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all our viewers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Adventures. I am your host, Kunle Olufemi. As you know, on The Adventures, we seek to bring you the stories of courage and vision behind the brands and the businesses and the organizations that you see around you every day. We hope to help you achieve success faster, avoid some of the mistakes that they made, right, by telling you their story or by sharing their stories with you. As you listen to us today, we hope that it will be another exciting episode of adventures for you. Today, I have a friend in the studio who will be sharing our inspiring story with us. My friend Shelley Personage runs or Mrs. I mean her because I don't want you guys thinking she's available. She's off the market, right? My friend Shelley Personage, Mrs. Shelley Personage runs UC Sausages here in the UK, right? And just to tell you a little bit about UC Sausages, just a minute. Now, UC Sausages specializes in providing catering services for your special events and private functions. Their team will work with you to create a menu that fits your taste, budget, and style. All right. They have a team that has been specially chosen to drive efficiency and reliability. Now, I can't do justice to the introduction of, UC Sausages, so I'm just basically going to step away, and bring to the studio, allow Shelley to do bulk of the introduction herself. So welcome with me, Mrs. Shelley Personage. Welcome, Shelley.
Hi, Kunle. What a great introduction.
All right. Once again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. I would just like you to, meet our guest, all right? And tell us a little bit about yourself, about your business, right? And, tell us about the scale of what you've been doing. Over to you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here. So I run Usually Sausage. It's been running since 2013, so quite a long time now.
Wow.
And it started off, so I wanted to do a catering business because I just loved going to festivals and all that kind of thing when I was a bit younger. So yeah, it started off in 2013, and initially it started off in a gazebo, so I just go to kind of smaller, more village events. I just thought it's really as simple as
Sorry, what is a gazebo? Is it like a small tent?
Yeah, like just a structure that you pull apart and then you put
Okay.
a cover over the top. So
Yeah.
very temporary. So
Yeah.
I'd just lug one of those in the back of my car along with some tables and equipment and some like tablecloths. And then just go along to different events, set it so you'd set it all up before you got there. And then a couple of griddles and like a bain-marie and a hot water run. And then I just started, I chose sausages because I just loved eating sausages. So that was sort of my favourite foods. So I started off using sausages, and then I've gradually expanded. So when it was doing, I was like, I can actually make quite good money doing this. So I invested a bit into the business and ended up buying a trailer in lockdown, actually. I bought a trailer in 2020. Was it 2021?
Oh, right in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, so I was a bit of the crossroads because I think in the middle of COVID, we didn't really know what was going on, did we? And I was like, is this a ridiculous idea, investing this money into getting a trailer, spending like a good few grand on it, getting like a permanent structure rather than a gazebo, when you didn't really know whether anyone was ever going to be socializing again or anything like that. But I did
Everyone was coming to an end.
Yeah, nobody knew it was such a weird time, wasn't it?
Wow.
Actually, it turned out a blessing in disguise because I was living with a friend at the time who had a big driveway, And obviously you couldn't spend any money. So I had loads of money to be able to do the trailer up, which I wouldn't necessarily have the time or the money to do that in normal circumstances. So then, I invested in a trailer that just attaches to the back of my car. And then, it's got more and more. I think because of the trailer, it looks a bit more professional than the gazebo. So that then led me down the avenue of not just festivals and events like that. It led me down to more private events, so doing weddings and business parks and that type of thing. So, it's been going for a little while now, and it's, I suppose, word of mouth keeps spreading. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, it's interesting to hear all of this, right? I've eaten your sausages a couple of times, right? And I can tell you, like, guys, that if you have an event, you can be rest assured that, that this is really good, right? But it's really interesting to hear how it all started, not out of any grand, revelation or something. You love this food, right? You love going to festivals, right? And things just kind of connect, and you're like, you know what? If I love it this much, go ahead. You want to share something?
Yeah, so it initially started. So I've been to Glastonbury Festival a couple of times, and I was helping at my friend's. So my friend lived in Wales in the Teepee community. So there was a load of hippies that lived in Wales, and they all lived in teepees in the mountains. And they got invited every year.
What's teepee? Just for
teepee is like a wigwam. So like Native Americans that have like sticks in the middle, fire in the middle, and then like the material around the outside and a fire in the middle. So they used to live in them. They were really like hippies, like lovely people. And they used to get invited every year to go to Glastonbury. And they could go to Glastonbury for free, but they had to kind of almost put on a bit of a display to show kind of the people of Glastonbury how they live. And so they ran a teepee cafe. But they did it all organic food or like vegetarian foods. And it was fun. I worked with them, but they had very big, they had like quite a vast menu. It was like loads of different parts of the menu. And as lovely as they were, it wasn't the most organized of procedures, but it was, the food was amazing and it was a really good experience. But I did see them and I just thought, oh man, they're doing this, and even they were making quite good money, and it wasn't necessarily the most organized structure. So I thought, I could do this, but I could sell meat instead. So I thought, maybe I'll try and copy. Like, I got the idea initially from them. I enjoyed the atmosphere because everyone's always happy at festival and events and that type of thing. I really enjoyed it, and I thought I just need to make it a lot more simple. So in that respect, I literally just do really good quality hot dogs, rather than like a dish with loads of different sides to it. And with that, because it's only, so I have tried to expand the menu a little bit. I tried doing like a danger dog, which was like a really spicy sausage with like some spicy like mincemeat and on the top like a chili dog, that type of thing as well. But I did try and go a bit bigger and make the menu bigger, but then nobody was ever interested. They always just kept coming back to the simple sausage. So I was like, there's no point in me doing this because I wasn't selling it.
It's simple for us. We don't want anything complicated. Just keep it simple for us. Give us our sausages.
I've changed it so we've got vegetarian now, so you can have vegetarian and vegan sausages, so it caters for more, and gluten free.
Oh, really?
But in terms of making a bigger menu, it just, it wasn't worth it. I tried and it just didn't kick off. So so that's where the idea initially came from.
Trust me, we are going to unpack all of this, right? So I'll come back to them, but I couldn't help but think, right, about the lesson or the learning point in the story you just shared, not the initial one, the piece around, you wanting to expand the what we call in sales repertoire. You want to expand your assortment, so to say, right? Bring in different tastes, different flavors, different variants, and all of that. But the people kept going back to just give us, this is what we love, and you did not try to force it, right? You basically just, if this is what my customers want, I'll give it to them. I'm not going to try and force it down their throat that you must eat. Do you get what I mean? I think because because a lot of entrepreneurs just want to they feel like this is what I have, this is what is good for you, you must take it. Meanwhile, they're not listening to the shoppers, they're not listening to the consumers. You're kind of like, okay, if that's what you want, then take it.
I did have a few people just saying, "Oh, you need to get you need to try this, you need to try this," and I did listen and I tried, but it didn't like it just wasn't worth it. So I just thought there's no
Yeah.
point in making things complicated. And I actually had a lady, I can't remember her name, but she was a British Bake Off, and she came. She was like, "Great, simple menu, well done, really good." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, I'm actually doing the right thing." I can't remember her name, but she's quite famous. And I was like, I felt the pressure as she was ordering from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's
keep it
cool.
simple, I think. Not, and especially at first, if you're setting up, don't overcomplicate things because it can
Yeah.
become,
Mm.
can make things really tricky for you. And then you might lose the quality as well if you make it too complicated.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, so if I step back, right, or if we go back a little bit to the beginning, right, in terms of if you look at the number of events, right, just rough numbers of events that you do like in a year, or the number of people, whichever sounds, whichever you can wrap your head around, like in the immediate, like how many
Yeah.
people do you kind of cater to events? Do you cater to on an annual basis now, right? And how busy does it get?
Yeah, so at the beginning, I only started off doing a few events because I wasn't sure how to find them. I wasn't sure how you approach people. But obviously, the more time you do things, the more knowledgeable you become. And also,
Yeah.
word of mouth, people you get chatting to other food vendors, and then they'll tell you things. And so, the more events you do, it kind of snowballs. So
Yeah.
that's what's happened with the business. I've taken a step back a little bit the last couple of years because of the baby.
Yeah.
But say, and I started off maybe doing like maybe as small as 5 events. And then let's think the summer of 22, 23, before I got married was the busiest. And I'd be maybe doing, oh, so it's very seasonal. I'd be
Yeah.
doing kind of maybe 2 events, one or 2 events at the weekend. So doing every weekend through from May through to August.
Wow.
Yeah.
May
Yeah.
1-2 events every weekend, May through August.
Yeah. So for the summer months, so for that's
That's
mainly when the
busy.
festivals and carnivals are on. Yeah, it was when I was working full time as well.
That's busy, and you're running another job. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun though. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It's very sociable. You're chatting to people, and I always work with like a friend or my sisters who've like worked. Same people work with me kind of on and off if they're free at the weekend. So yeah, it was great fun. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. Right, it's interesting to hear that from like 5 events right within that same period, you move to like
Mm.
2 events every weekend over a 3-4 month period. That's really like
Yeah.
massive growth until you decided to kind of scale back because of family commitments and all of that. So
Yeah.
that's really very helpful. Now to think about how it all started, right? 2 things I'm piecing together now. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I want you to probably go a little in and unpack it more for us if possible. Now, number one is the fact that yes, you love festivals, you like going to these places, you love the food and all and the atmosphere. People are happy, and you just love that, and you had a lot of experiences. But number two, it looks like there was some kind of coincidence in you having to go to festivals with some of your friends, right?
Yeah.
The guys, and somehow something in you spotted an opportunity. You were helping them, you were doing stuff for them, but in the process of doing that, you spotted an opportunity, right? And in your head, you're like, I can do this, right? I can do
Mm.
this. I'm just wondering. Now, I know that there are a lot of things that people can do, but it doesn't mean that it can translate into a commercial success for them, right?
Yeah.
But this looks like something that can become big for you, even back then. Is that
Yeah.
correct? And how did you piece all of that together?
Well, I think I saw the business model that my friends were doing, my friends' parents were doing, and
Yeah.
I saw how successful they were. It wasn't necessarily the most organized process.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, do you know, if they're able to still make money and it
Mm.
not be like them running export and all of these other things, I was like, it would be hard to lose money from doing it. And it was quite a small investment at first. So initially, I think it was only like 2-3 grand initially just to buy, get the public liability insurance, buy a gazebo, buy the equipment, get myself registered with the local councils, and they come around to check it all out. So in terms of investing, you're only putting forward a couple of grand, and that was all I'd have to make back. And back when I set up in 2013, I didn't have any commitments. I didn't have any family commitments. I could have lost that money had it not worked out. So it wasn't too much of a gamble at the beginning, because I knew, I don't have to make too much back in order to pay back what I've spent. Yeah.
So did you have to save that money up personally, or did you raise it from family, family, friends, and fools? Right?
I had previously, so I'd been backpacking all around the world and done a lot of traveling, and as I was traveling, I was like thinking of names, and that's how I came up with Usilly Sausage, because I was like, yeah, that's really catchy. So that's when I came up with the name.
That's cool.
And then when I came back from traveling, I had no money whatsoever. But in order to save up for traveling the first time, I'd done a season working on the yachts. So I don't know whether you've seen, there's a really trashy program called Below Deck, and it's like,
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's terrible. I don't watch it myself, but it's the only thing that people can semi-relate to. It's like the big super yachts that the celebrities all work on.
Yeah.
Like celebrities go on, and they're all on the TV and all of that stuff. So I did a season doing that out in the south of France.
Oh, okay.
So I was based in Cannes in the Côte d'Azur in France. Yeah. So I did that I did that back in 2011 to save money to go traveling. So you can you go on there and you don't have to pay tax. You get all your food paid. You get paid really good money for basically being a stewardess on a yacht. But you can spend it a little bit, like when you have time off, but it's tax-free money. So you just save all of that. So I did that for a season in 2011 to save money to go traveling for a couple of years. And then when I came back, I didn't have any money, and I was like, I need to do this again to save some money to set up my own business. So I went back out again in 2013, saved a load of money to do that. And then so I had that money in my bank to be able to spend it on setting up a business. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch the podcast. We are super thankful for you taking that time and investing the time to learn. We hope that you find the story inspiring, and beyond that, that you've been able to articulate one or two things that you want to do differently in your own entrepreneurial journey. May I encourage you to please like, subscribe, comment, and please share the word within your own circle of influence, especially within those that you think are on the same entrepreneurial journey with you. May I also encourage you to please, beyond subscribing to our YouTube channel, follow us on our other social media platforms. That means a lot to us, and we can see that that helps us to track that we're making some progress and so making some impact. Thanks a lot once again for taking the time to watch, and to see you on the next episode.